straight across to Derek O'Brien, another senior opposition leader of the Trinamool Congress. As we've seen, senior leaders of the Trinamool Congress, including Abhishek Banerjee, are also on the list. Derek O'Brien, do you share somewhat of the similar sort of Shashi Tharoor's benefit of doubt argument in favor of the government, or are you clear that this is in fact the Modi government snooping on its political rivals despite its denials?
I didn't hear all of what Mr. Tharoor said, but this is the Gujarat model of 2002 now being rolled out at the national launch by Mr. Modi and Mr. Shah. So this issue is very serious, but there's a lighter side to the issue, so we don't need to. There is a lighter side, Mr. James. So if you allow me, you know, they snooped on Mr. Abhishek Banerjee's phone. We're told on the political strategist's phone, Mr. Abhishek Banerjee is obviously the key, the one general secretary. But after, there's a lighter side to this. Now, after snooping on his phone, after listening to all the conversations, after letting loose all the government agencies, CBI, ED, after outspending the Trinamool Congress by 100 times, after giving dictation to the Election Commission,
yes,
after making all your own rules,
yes,
you still go and lose the election. You get thrashed by Trinamool in the election. So I think there's a lighter.
So you're saying all that snooping, if there was snooping, didn't help. But on a serious note, Derek O'Brien, the fact that if they were indeed snooping on Abhishek Banerjee and also Prashant Kishore, who was, these were the two close associates in a sense of Mamata Banerjee during the West Bengal campaign. Does that not concern you that it's quite possible if two close aides of Mamata Banerjee were being snooped on? I mean, in a sense, that means she herself was under a form of indirect surveillance.
Of course. Please understand how desperate Modi and Shah were, how desperate they were to defeat Mamata Banerjee, the Trinamool Congress, and Abhishek Banerjee and everyone in Bengal. They were desperate. They were desperate. And that's why, as I said, I didn't want to sound facetious but in the beginning, but that's why we're taking this issue very seriously. And now Parliament is in session.
Right.
There are lots of issues in Parliament which we are taking up.
Yeah.
Which price rise, which would be the farmer bill. These are all key issues, which would be federalism, which would be MP-led funds, which would be the state of the economy. But tomorrow, at the crack of dawn, like today we went on 10 MPs, went on cycles to Parliament to price rise the LPG. Tomorrow we are taking this up both inside Parliament and outside Parliament.
But Derek O'Brien, when the government, you're taking it up, but today, and this is the point that Shashi Tharoor was making, if the IT minister has said, they may not have directly said we didn't deploy Pegasus or we didn't buy Pegasus, but if the IT minister is saying we didn't do anything illegal and hacking is illegal, ergo the assumption that we have not deployed Pegasus.
I mean, you all heard what the new IT minister, poor fellow, he himself was being snooped on. What was Pegasus? How do I pronounce it again?
Pegasus.
So what was it then? It was either a video game. Was it a video game? Or Mr. Amit Shah must be liking these.
The IT minister is saying we haven't done anything illegal. Hacking is illegal. Ergo, we didn't use Pegasus.
There's a key issue here, Mr. Jain. This is government. Government has, this is not somebody like you or I going and buying some spyware. This is government. So the government has done it. So the truth of the matter is this is the worst kept secret. Everybody knew the style of the former Chief Minister of Gujarat and the former Home Minister of Gujarat.
Right.
They've just used the state model and they've tried to do a national launch of the state model.
Right.
This is nothing. We just come off a Bengal election 3-4 months. They waited in the campaign. There are no rules.
Okay.
They want to break every institution in India. They don't care about Parliament. They don't care about any other institution. The CBI and the agencies are in their back pocket. So this is something else. And I think this is not only again we'll go back to the old story that this is all anti-national.
Right.
We're
Okay.
taking it up in Parliament tomorrow, outside Parliament tomorrow.
Okay.
The Trinamool Congress, the second largest opposition party, we will be protesting. The political strategist who we hired, his phone was hacked. And
Yes.
we have only one All India General Secretary, Mr. Abhishek Banerjee.
Okay.
His phone was hacked. So, Mr. Jain, thank you. I must congratulate you. I'm not being condescending. But what has happened to the other? What has happened to your brothers and sisters from the other from the neighborhood in Noida? This subject is not important.
Well, I haven't really been following what they've been up to, but I'm sure you have. So, but we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much, Derek O'Brien, for joining us tonight on the show.